Hello, everybody, and welcome to Love, Peace, Harmony Live. My name is Alexia Cito, and I am one of the co-directors here at the Love, Peace, Harmony Foundation and one of Dr. Master Zhigong Sha's leading teachers, who is the founder of this foundation, a world-renowned healer, humanitarian, traditional Chinese medicine doctor, and medical doctor in China. And I am very looking forward to this session today. We have an extraordinary community leader from the island of Maui who is here with us today. She is also a teacher of Dr. Master Zhigong Sha, and she is an extraordinary community leader. She is involved in many different aspects of her ohana, of her community, of her family in Maui, and I could go on, but I'm just so excited for her to be here with us today. She is involved in restoration of the native area there, the plants, all of the watershed. She is, as I mentioned, a community leader who engages with supporting the local people, what they need, their resources, bringing people together. She is a leader, a teacher, a mentor, and she has recently founded a nonprofit as well. And we are going to be hearing a little bit more about the wisdom of what she has to share today, and especially connected to what is happening right now in Maui. And I also want to give everybody forewarning, if we talk about the calligraphies behind me, which you see, if you hear us share about the song, all of these things are not a replacement for medical services. So please continue to see your medical doctors. That being said, they are backed by 19 clinically based research studies, which actually shows that they do work. So it's pretty extraordinary. And yeah, so I want to just give everybody a heads up about that, because we will be sharing about that today as well. Now, just waiting for her to come on here. She's going to be joining us. It's 4:30 in the morning, but she did message me. Okay, as soon as I see her pop in here. And in the meantime, we'll sing Love, Peace, Harmony for those of you that don't know it. And we invite everyone watching who wishes to join. This is a special song that has a unique frequency and vibration. And when this frequency and vibration radiates out, it radiates out a frequency and vibration of love, peace, and harmony. And so we wish for this to surround all the people of Maui. It's most appropriate at this time. Bathe them in this beautiful light. And I see Malia is with us, so I'm just going to invite her in here. And we will a little bit. And so there you are. Hello, welcome.
Aloha Hiʻiaka, good morning.
Good morning. So I was just sharing with everyone a bit about you and who you are, and that you are joining us to share, what it is that you wish to share a bit about today with everything that's happening in Maui. And I was sharing also about you being, a community leader and really like looking out for the people there, and in your community. So where do we begin?
We begin with aloha. For most part, people will not be able to fathom what it is that has happened to my island. Many people are still in shock, I think, around the world. They cannot believe that what they're seeing from footage, or even people who are here who have experienced the loss of their homes, the loss of community in terms of their physical community. Even just right now above me, there are fires going on, and iconic areas that Lahaina has been known for at least 100 years for being a whaling town, and then being the center of tourism, one of the major attractions of tourism for the island of Maui. And what people don't know is the historical context. And so I wanted to start with aloha because in my culture, this has been something predominant from the occupation of Hawaii by foreign government to now, to a protest of clean water and clean air. Hawaiians are showing up all the time when it comes to these things about taking care of land. This comes back down to the environment and our connection to her, and how we perceive her, how we choose to treat her. And this is not any different than anything we've ever done before. Yes, the context of what we're dealing with right now is major. It's disastrous. And for places that are really big, like the continent, where you can just travel for hours and hours and hours and hours and find food and find water and find resources, that's not how it is on an island. On an island, things are finite. You have to take care of them. You have to nurture them and make sure that you're aligned with them. And when I say them, it's, you know, our mountain produces water. The trees on top of the water, on top of the mountain, produce water. But also the insects and all of the things, that the smallest tiny snail that's cleaning the tree, that's allowing everything to happen to keep that tree healthy and well. It's the ecosystem that we probably learned about when we were little children and forgot about when we became adults, if we are not in nature often or enjoy it. So for us, aloha is one of those spaces that we have to be in. It's unconditional. It is connection to our whatever you're going to call it, our akua, our God, our deities, our elements, the universe, whatever you call it. This connection has to exist in order for us to be able to move in a balanced and harmonious way. So we have seen great feats of the human spirit in the last 3 days. Yesterday, I was fortunate to have insider information from Lahaina. My youngest daughter, went in with her kane, with her partner and his family, to hand out water, to hand out ice, to give fuel. If you're familiar with that side of Maui, it's a little isolated if roads are blocked off. Roads are blocked off right now because it truly is a zone that is not familiar to the local person, to the person who has been born and raised there. The Front Street area, which is what is iconic in pictures, is burned. It has been burned to the ground, and it will be sad. It will be sad for those who have seen it their whole lives. As you can imagine, many people and your audience may have been from Australia, maybe from California, you may understand this very, very well, because this may have happened in your town, in your area. It's no different. The difference is, though, we have a small space. We have small communities, yeah. And these resources, in terms of tourism, has been a big industry for Hawaii, as many of you know. People come from all over the world to see Hawaii's beauty. And Lahaina is no different. There will be many people, and there are many people now displaced without homes. Right now, I've observed in the last 3 days, probably about 2,000 people who have been displaced. Well, when you live on a continent, it doesn't seem like a big number. However, when you think about my population of Maui is a little over 100,000 people. My population isn't that big. There are some cities that are beyond that. Yeah. That's my whole island. So our tourist population, our visitor population is many more than that. We have more visitors that come to Maui than there are people who live here. And so we are taking care of them too, because that's what we do. And but I have to tell you that I don't watch the news. I don't, because unless somebody tells me to watch the news for something, and it's, they're trying to give a story, and our story is about strength. Our story is about internal mana. It's about power that's within us that lets us rise into when these situations occur, and how we unite when these situations occur. That is the story. Beyond the homes that have been burned, beyond the people who are waiting to be evacuated, beyond the burn victims that are coming out, all of those things are real. They are. Beyond the land that has been scorched, that's also very real to me too, and it's very important to pay attention to. But I don't want us to linger on that. I want us to linger on what kind of light can we bring to this situation, so that the people who have been impacted, and this is going to be pretty much my whole island will be impacted, because people come from an hour to 2 hours away to work in that area. So jobs have now been impacted, including my own children who work in the industry, and many people are connected to the visitor industry. So lots and lots and lots will be impacted by this. But it's our human spirit. How can we rise from the ashes? How can we rise like the phoenix? Yeah, to recreate the space that we want to see it, want to envision it for the future. I shared, and I share with my everyone that I meet. I had a very, very dear friend, highly educated, very cultured, that came to me yesterday, and she just cried. She hasn't lost, quote unquote, her home. She hasn't lost anything except for the memory of what that place is, what she has learned in hula, how she has been connected to that place more in depth. And I said to her, this is our hulihia. Hulihia in Hawaiian is that churning. We're churning. It's like when the waves hit the shore and all the sand starts to come up, and then you get sucked in, and if you're not paying attention, you're gonna sucked in. You're just like, wow. You gotta know what you're doing, right? In order so you don't drown. That hulihia is the churning up of everything that we know and don't know, and it makes us very uncomfortable, and it doesn't help us to feel like safe, because it's pulling up all of our junk. It pulls up all of our insecurities, and it's like, hello, here you are, deal with it. And so what do you do when you're in these situations? You unite. You hold each other and you walk through the fire together. This is our way. It's also a recognition of what your purpose is. And for us, the hulihia is recognizing our ancestors and what they left behind for us. Our deities are very much alive. Many of you have seen Pele as she's been erupting for the last several years. The snow mountains of Mauna Kea, Poliahu, they're in our winds, they are in our rains, they are in our land, they are in our trees, they are in our plants, they are in everything. And we have a responsibility to them. When you're on a small island, you're very aware that they're there. So this hulihia, or this shift that is happening for Maui right now, is important for Maui and for Hawaii and for the world. Maui in this area, Mauna Kahalavai, is the top point, or the highest point of this mountain is Puʻu Kukui. Puʻu Kukui is the hill of enlightenment. This is an ancient name. This is not a name that was just given in time. It is ancient. The highest kahuna, or priests, the highest chiefs or chiefesses were allowed into that area. This is one of the wettest spots in the entire world. Those waters flow down into Lahaina, area that's been impacted. When you concrete the area that water is flowing, it's not a good situation for the coral reefs right outside, for the ocean and all the fish right outside. You are blocking the path of the water that gives life, not just to the land, not just to the people, but everything that is connected in the ocean. So as I see it now, our hulihia, or our churning, is allowing the water to come back to the ocean. Our oceans are so important. During COVID, we saw that when we didn't have our visitors on the beaches, the reefs started to return. They started to become healthy again. In this area, especially in the area of Honolulu, that reef system spawns and then brings life to the island of Molokai and Lanai, which are the 3 islands that are connected to Maui. So life goes on in a way that we as human beings may not be paying attention. It is an ecosystem, as we have learned in our classes, in our biology classes, in our chemistry classes, in our science classes from when we were little children. It all functions as one. So I thank you all for your prayers, for your chanting, for your love, even your thoughts. Whoever is watching on today, tomorrow, next week, anybody who is thinking of Maui. If you've been to Maui, if you've seen pictures of Maui, if you know people from Maui, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, whoever it is, whatever you're connected to, send your beautiful thoughts to this place. Send your love to this place. It is powerful. We have a wisdom in Hawaiian culture, a Hawaiian proverb, iko ʻōlelo ke ola, iko ʻōlelo ka make. In language, there is life, and in language, there is death. That is also our thoughts. Our thoughts are powerful. We are powerful beings. And when we project good thoughts, when we project love, when we project peace and harmony for this place, for any place, for your space, for your heart, for your body, for your soul, that starts to shift the conditions. And one person may seem like, oh, but you know, what am I doing? Give us good thoughts. Send us love, because it starts to break down the barriers that may have maybe in existence at the time.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing all of this wisdom, and also for bringing us to that place of what, you know, some things that we can do by sending our thoughts, by sending our prayers, our chanting, and all the ways, you know, we have such a beautiful, diverse community around the world. So in all the ways that you know how, and one of the ways that brings us together is the Love, Peace, Harmony song, and singing that song and singing the songs of peace, of love, and harmony, and sending those vibrations. We are going to post, if we haven't already, a reel with the version in Hawaiian so that people can also sing in this language and learn it as well with the lyrics. And so I guess I'm just curious your feeling around what we can do, because we will be launching a campaign. I think we already have the link in the bio for anyone who wishes to donate. And these funds will be going to different places that you've recommended. So your own nonprofit, we'd love to hear about your really beautiful nonprofit and what it is that you're working on in sustainability and nourishing the land. And also you mentioned Project Vision, and I believe the United Way. So we are putting out a calling to everyone, in addition to our prayers, to our thoughts, to also please, if you can, make a donation as well, so we can share that in addition to everything from our heart.
Thank you. My nonprofit is called Kumukahi Ke Aloha. Kumukahi is actually the name of my grandfather, the surname of my grandfather, who I didn't know, but who named me before. My grandmother had a dream before I was born, and in Hawaiian, when you have a dream name, moe uhane, then that is the name you give to that child. And so I feel very connected to my grandfather, although I never met him. And Kumukahi is also the eastern point of the island of Hawaii, which is it's the easternmost point, actually technically, of the United States, quote unquote. It is significant also because it is the eastern point of the horizon. And it is also known for the god Lono. Lono is the god of life in Hawaiian culture. So Kumukahi, Kumu is usually can be translated as teacher, Kahi is the one. So it can also be translated as the source. And so the things that are important to me, that the projects that I've worked on always have that name within it. And they are always successful. Kumukahi Ke Aloha is source love. We forget. It's giving me chicken skin. We forget sometimes what is around us. Whether you believe in a creator, believe in the universe, we're floating in the middle of a universe and many universes. This tiny, bitty, tiny, light little island or in the universe. So Hawaii is kind of like the tiny itty bitty island in the middle of the Pacific on island Earth. So Kumakahi Aloha is about multiple things. There are many projects that I work on. One, we don't call it homelessness in Hawaii. We call it houselessness because in Hawaii is our home. Our land is our home. However, people are houseless. For the last 7 months, I've been working with Governor Greenʻs Advisor on houselessness. This is something that I am not paid to do. I do it because I can. And we have been, for 7 months, we have been going throughout the state of Hawaii to identify land, state land, county land for our people to start placing them back on their land. Know clearly in Hawaii, especially with locals or Hawaiians, that when we put Hawaiians, local people back onto the land and give them the responsibility to take care of that land while helping and structuring them, they thrive. They become healthy and well again. One of the Love, Peace, Harmony Foundation projects is Hui Mahiai ʻāina on the island of Oahu, and it is thriving, that project. They went from, I believe, 11 people to now almost 100 people, of which 26 are children that were brought off the streets. They build their own little small houses, and then they have land for agriculture. The agriculture is not just food, but also trees and beautiful flowers, and the aesthetics of life makes life better for them. Why is that important? That's what I do. That's what I'm doing. That's what we are doing throughout Hawaii. And so it's no accident. And I've been reflecting on this in the last 3 days. I called the governor's advisor and we just kind of cried on the phone because the divine, the source, has been moving us fast through this process in the last 7 months. And if you know anything about government, not easy to do. Not easy to do, because there are thousands of people who have to agree to what you're doing. And then when you add the people in, then you have millions of people that have to agree. And they may not agree with you. They may be pushing back because change is very hard for people. Change is hard. And now we've gone from, just on my island, about 500 homeless to now thousands that are houseless. And this is heartwarming for me, because that's the bigger picture. The bigger picture is that everything that we have been putting our heart and soul into in the last 7 months is now making sense to us. So that's one of my projects as Kumukahi. I also have another project of going into the prisons, teaching love, peace, and harmony, teaching wellness through Tao wisdom, Dr. and Master Zhigong Sha, to help people to focus, to be aligned, so to speak. Those who are in prison do not necessarily learn those qualities when they are growing up. When there are many people who are in prison are traumatized as children, and they don't have the tools or the skills to be able to manage their lives. And so choices are made. Sometimes those choices are made for them, and they are put into a position where now they're reaping the consequences of not knowing or of being very aware. So those are two of my projects. We do human rights work as well. In my team, I have global global warriors that are working on climate change, the sustainable development goals of the UN. I have people working on health and many issues that surrounds the health and well-being of humanity. And this is my teacher's wisdom. The purpose of life is to serve. To serve is to make others happier and healthier, empowered and enlightened. So Kumakahi Ke Aloha is that. The source love is that. To give, to receive, to understand where we are and what our space is in this life, and to help us to be productive, to be efficient, to be empowered, to help others. There have been many programs that I've worked with that are doing incredible work with our houseless population. I've been working with Project Vision. It's a small nonprofit, but they're mighty. They are Project Vision actually started with doctors who wanted to help people restore their vision. Today, I work with them. Dara Kauhane, their executive director, is an ophthalmologist who actually does surgery with Doctors Without Borders around the world, helping with children and families around the world to have sight, to restore their vision. But in Hawaii, they work on houseless challenges. They are right there in the streets with RNs, with mental health specialists. They're bringing food. They're in Lahaina, going into the zone, giving water, giving treatment, whatever is needed. And whenever I need something from them, their answer is, sure, Malia, what do you need? I need more nurses. I need more people taking care of physical wounds. What do you need, Malia? How many do you need? What kind of supplies do you need? That is always their response to me. And so it's like I said, it's small. They're still working on putting up a link specifically for Maui, specifically for the work. They are boots on the ground. And that's why I've asked that they be selected. The Maui United Way has been around since I was a child. They help all nonprofits on Maui. And the other is Hawaii Community Foundation. That is an overall statewide agency that has, I've also had the benefit of working with as a director of scholarship and for Native Hawaiians, as well as all agencies and organizations in Hawaii. Just put in, when you contribute to these agencies, put down for Maui so that they know where to direct the funds to. Okay. But we thank you. We thank all of the people because, I've been in the space with people in the last, from small children with their parents, wanting to do something, wanting to help with something. So we have them go pick up the bottles of water that they may have blown out, or we give them something to do. Everybody wants to help. We know everybody, because really, that's really the human nature. I know people really want to be a part of something that is supportive of each other, and Maui will prevail. Maui will prevail. And what I tell my people around me, I was hugging a reporter the other day that just couldn't go on air because she was crying, and had a ton of makeup on. I was trying to repair her makeup. That this happened to Maui because Maui will show the world what aloha is. People need to understand what it looks like, what it feels like, and we will teach you all what this is like.
I feel it, and want to thank you so much for sharing and for taking this time to be with us.
Thank you.
You know,
Yeah, for inviting me this morning and for being present with me as well, and connecting with me. There's, you gave me a little bit of normalcy for a moment. A little bit of normalcy, because I think that's happening is not normal. Yeah, the craziness is a little bit normal, but the grounding, helping me to be in that space for a little bit of time. Thank
you. So we will be inviting everyone to connect. You can reach out to us. We have a 24/7 Zoom happening right now for chanting. So if you want to tap into that and join, it's open and available, to just come together, send our love, our light, frequency, vibration to Maui, our prayers, and whatever your belief system, everyone is welcome. And we have a link in our bio for donating, and you can always reach out directly to myself or to this page if you have any further questions about anything at all. And we want to thank you so much again, Malia. Mahalo for being with us and for sharing.
Mahalo. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Aloha.